Hello. Today we are reading Torah portion Balak, and this is found in the book of Numbers or Bamidbar from chapter 22 and verse 2 through chapter 25 and verse 9. Balak, the son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorite. Moab was sore afraid of the people because they were many, and Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. Moab said to the Zachanim of Midian, "Now will this multitude lick up all that is round about us, as the ox licks up the grass of the field." Balak, the son of Zippor, was king of Moab at the time. He sent messengers to Balaam, the son of Beor, to Petor, which is by the river, to the land of the children of his people, to call him, saying, "Behold, there is a people come out from Mitzrayim. Behold, they cover the surface of the earth, and they abide over against me. Please come now, therefore, curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Peradventure I shall prevail, that we may strike them, and that I may drive them out of the land. For I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed." The Zachanim of Moab and the Zachanim of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in their hand. And they came to Balaam and spoke to him the words of Balak. He said to them, "Lodge here this night, and I will bring you word again, as Yahweh shall speak to me." And the princes of Moab abode with Balaam. Elohim came to Balaam and said, "What men are these with you?" Balaam said to Elohim, "Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent to me, saying, Behold, the people that has come out of Mitzrayim, that covers the surface of the earth. Now come, curse me them, peradventure I shall be able to fight against them, and shall drive them out." Elohim said to Balaam, "You shall not go with them, you shall not curse the people, for they are blessed." Balaam rose up in the morning and said to the princes of Balak, "Get you into your land, for Yahweh refuses to give me leave to go with you." The princes of Moab rose up, and they went to Balak and said, "Balaam refuses to come with us." Balak sent yet again princes more and more honorable than they. They came to Balaam and said to him, "Thus says Balak, the son of Zippor, Please let nothing hinder you from coming to me, for I will promote you to very great honor, and whatever you say to me I will do. Please come therefore and curse this people for me." Balaam answered the servants of Balak, "If Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I can't go beyond the word of Yahweh my Elohim to do less or more. Now therefore please wait also here this night, that I may know what Yahweh will speak to me more." Elohim came to Balaam at night and said to him, "If the men are come to call you, rise up, go with them, but only the word which I speak to you, that shall you do." Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his donkey and went with the princes of Moab. Elohim's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of Yahweh placed himself in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding on his donkey, and his two servants were with him. The donkey saw the angel of Yahweh standing in the way with his sword drawn in his hand, and the donkey turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam struck the donkey to turn her into the way. Then the angel of Yahweh stood in a narrow path between the vineyards, a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. The donkey saw the angel of Yahweh, and she thrust herself to the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. And he struck her again. The angel of Yahweh went further and stood in a narrow place where was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. The donkey saw the angel of Yahweh, and she lay down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he struck the donkey with his staff. Yahweh opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times?" Balaam said to the donkey, "Because you have mocked me, I would there were a sword in my hand, for now I had killed you." The donkey said to Balaam, "Am I not your donkey, on which you have ridden all your life long to this day? Was I ever wont to do so to you?" And he said, "No." Then Yahweh opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of Yahweh standing in his way, with his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed his head and fell on his face. The angel of Yahweh said to him, Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I am come forth for an adversary, because your way is perverse before me. And the donkey saw me and turned aside before me these 3 times. Unless she had turned aside from me, surely now I had even slain you and saved her alive. Balaam said to the angel of Yahweh, I have sinned, for I didn't know that you stood in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displease you, I will get me back again. The angel of Yahweh said to Balaam, Go with the man, but only the word that I shall speak to you, that you shall speak. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. When Balak heard that Balaam was come, he went out to meet him to the city of Moab, which is on the border of the Arnon, which is in the utmost part of the border. Balak said to Balaam, Didn't I earnestly send you to call you? Why didn't you come to me? Am I not able indeed to promote you to honor? Balaam said to Balak, Behold, I have come to you. Have I now any power at all to speak anything? The word that Elohim puts in my mouth, that shall I speak. Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kiriath Hutzot. Balak sacrificed oxen and sheep, and sent to Balaam, and to the princes who were with him. It happened in the morning that Balak took Balaam, and brought him up to the high places of Baal, and he saw from there the utmost part of the people. Balaam said to Balak, Build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 bulls and 7 rams. Balak did as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered on every altar a bull and a ram. Balaam said to Balak, Stand by your burnt offering, and I will go. Perhaps Yahweh will come to meet me, and whatever he shows me, I will tell you. He went to a bare height. Elohim met Balaam, and he said to him, I have prepared the 7 altars, and I have offered up a bull and a ram on every altar. Yahweh put a word in Balaam's mouth, and said, Return to Balak, and thus you shall speak. He returned to him, and behold, he was standing by his burnt offering, he and all the princes of Moab. He took up his parable and said, From Aram has Balak brought me, the king of Moab, from the mountains of the east. Come curse me, Jacob, come defy Israel. How shall I curse, whom Elohim has not cursed? How shall I defy, whom Yahweh has not defied? For from the top of the rocks I see him, from the hills I see him. Behold, it is a people that dwells alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, or number the 4th part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, let my last end be like his. Balak said to Balaam, What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and behold, you have blessed them altogether. He answered and said, Must I not take heed to speak that which Yahweh puts in my mouth? Balak said to him, Please come with me to another place, from whence you may see them. Ye shall see but the utmost part of them, and shall not see them all. And curse me them from there. He took him into the field of Zophim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered up a bull and a ram on every altar. He said to Balak, Stand here by your burnt offering, while I meet Yahweh yonder. Yahweh met Balaam, and put a word in his mouth, and said, Return to Balak, and thus shall ye speak. He came to him, and behold, he was standing by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab with him. Balak said to him, What has Yahweh spoken? He took up his parable and said, Rise up, Balak, and hear. Listen to me, you son of Zippor. Elohim is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Has he said, and will he not do it? Or has he spoken, and will he not make it good? Behold, I have received mitzvah to bless. He has blessed, and I can't reverse it. He has not saw iniquity in Jacob. neither has he seen perverseness in Israel. Yahweh his Elohim is with him. The shout of a king is among them. Elohim brings them forth out of Mitzrayim. He has, as it were, the strength of the wild ox. Surely there is no enchantment with Jacob, neither is there any divination with Israel. Now shall it be said of Jacob and of Israel, what has Elohim done? Behold, the people rises up as a lioness, as a lion does he lift himself up. He shall not lie down until he eat of the prey, drink the blood of the slain. Balak said to Balaam, neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all. But Balaam answered Balak, didn't I tell you, saying, all that Yahweh speaks, that I must do? Balak said to Balaam, come now, I will take you to another place. Peradventure it will please Elohim that you may curse me them from there. Balak took Balaam to the top of Peor that looks down on the desert. Balaam said to Balak, build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 bulls and 7 rams. Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered up a bull and a ram on every altar. When Balaam saw that it pleased Yahweh to bless Israel, he didn't go, as at the other times, to meet with enchantments, but he set his face toward the wilderness. Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel dwelling according to their tribes, and the Spirit of Elohim came on him. He took up his parable and said, Balaam the son of Beor says, the man whose eye was closed says, he says, who hears the words of Elohim, who sees the vision of Shaddai, falling down and having his eyes open. How goodly are your tents, Jacob, your tents, Israel. As valleys are they spread forth, as gardens by the riverside, as line aloes which Yahweh has planted, as cedar trees beside the waters. Water shall flow from his buckets, his seed shall be in many waters. His king shall be higher than Agag, his kingdom shall be exalted. Elohim brings him forth out of Mitzrayim. He has, as it were, the strength of the wild ox. He shall eat up the nations, his adversaries, shall break their bones in pieces, smite them through with his arrows. He couched, he lay down as a lion. As a lioness, who shall rouse him up? Blessed be everyone who blesses you, cursed be everyone who curses you. Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam, and he struck his hands together. And Balak said to Balaam, I called you to curse my enemies, and behold, you have altogether blessed them these 3 times. Therefore now flee you to your place. I thought to promote you to great honor, but behold, Yahweh has kept you back from honor. Balaam said to Balak, didn't I also tell your messengers who sent to me, saying, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I can't go beyond the word of Yahweh to do either good or bad of my own mind. What Yahweh speaks, that will I speak. Now behold, I go to my people. Come, and I will advertise you what this people shall do to your people in the latter days. He took up his parable and said, Balaam the son of Beor says, the man whose eye was closed says, he says who hears the words of Elohim, knows the knowledge of Ha-Elyon, who sees the vision of Shaddai, falling down and having his eyes open. I see him, but not now. I see him, but not near. There shall come forth a star out of Jacob. A scepter shall rise out of Israel, shall strike through the corners of Moab, break down all the sons of tumult. Edom shall be a possession. Zair also shall be a possession, who were his enemies, while Israel does valiantly. Out of Jacob shall one have dominion, shall destroy the remnant from the city. He looked at Amalek, and took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall come to destruction. He looked at the Kenite, and took up his parable and said, strong is your dwelling place, your nest is set in the rock. Nevertheless, Cain shall be wasted, until Ashur shall carry you away captive. He took up his parable and said, Alas, who shall live when Elohim does this? But ships shall come from the coast of Kittim. They shall afflict Ashur, and shall afflict ever. He also shall come to destruction. Balaam rose up and went and returned to his place, and Balak also went his way. Yisrael abode in Shittim, and the people began to play the prostitute with the daughters of Moab. For they called the people to the sacrifices of their Elohim, and the people ate and bowed down to their Elohims. Yisrael joined himself to Baal Peor, and the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Israel. Yahweh said to Moshe, Take all the chiefs of the people, and hang them up to Yahweh before the sun, that the fierce anger of Yahweh may turn away from Israel. Moshe said to the judges of Israel, Kill you every one his men who have joined themselves to Baal Peor. Behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought to his brothers a Midianite woman in the sight of Moshe and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, while they were weeping at the door of the tent of meeting. When Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the Cohen, saw it, he rose up from the midst of the congregation and took a spear in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the pavilion and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her body. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. Those who died by the plague were 24,000.